But usually when you see a big drop down like this, you're going to see a little bit of consolidation on the green side, and maybe we could head down even lower. I am going to pay attention to NVIDIA on the downside. I really kind of like that a 225-ish area. Those could pay pretty well. We could look at those contracts real quick. They are same day expiration, so be careful. It might be better to play next week's, but that 227 are only $98. These would pay pretty well because these are worth 175 in the money. It'll go well below that. It would take 97 to probably over 200 if this continues to collapse. But it's at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. I don't want to play the downside as it has all this weakness. I feel like there's a bounce to come here pretty soon. Same thing with Tesla. This thing has been just getting manhandled for so long that this has some room. It looks like it's really, really weak. I would love to buy Tesla shares around this 145 range. This is my target price to buy into a bunch of shares again. Just kind of holding off and waiting for that level. I feel like it could run down to this 160 pretty easily. But just wait and be impatient on that. No trades for me just yet. I'm looking at Coinbase as well. Crypto's been getting slaughtered. I don't even want to look at it. It's below 20,000 for the first time in a while. 1,400 ETH. Probably going to end up buying more ETH here in a little bit. Just going to let the market collapse for a little while. Excuse me. I think that meta play is actually a really great opportunity. So one sec. Meta. My high watch. I want to do some analysis on SPY though, the SPY daily chart. So we can see what we're looking at. Let's look at our main levels here. We're getting destroyed. That's crazy. Okay, so this support line right around this 387.36 level looks pretty good to me. Looks like pre-market low was this 388.12, so we could see that pretty fast. Notice that we had that green spike. This always happens, and this has like been the trend in the market lately. So when there's a massive gap down on the red candle here, this like next green candle, when you see a bearish engulfing candle, it always fails. Like I've seen this for many, many days in a row now. I still have no trades queued up just yet, but I am looking at this NVIDIA put. I think that could be a really good opportunity for people. I don't know if people want to get involved. It is near the bottom of the Bollinger Band, so I probably won't chase down here. I might wait for a little bit of a bounce before I get involved. But yeah, I don't know. I think that the market looks weak. Everything looks weak. I think there's a lot of bearish sentiment out there. Meta looks really great to the upside, but also kind of setting up this inverse cup and handle. So it could see a lot lower as well, especially with the market being the way it is. Love the way that it's pulling back, though, because I think that we're only going to get one drop. One more drop. That's all I think. I think we're going to get one more big drop, and then the market's going to enter into a bull cycle. It might consolidate for a while, but then I think that the market starts to rip up. I think that finally we start to reflect what's about to happen in the market. So we'll see what we can do here. This is a really big-ass rejection, though, from 405 down to 389. It's only going to get worse. I have the support line here at that 387 level, but below that on the weekly chart, we could see 375 before we tap this lower Bollinger Band. I think around here, around this level, I would start to take some opportunities for the call side for a couple months out, maybe a month out, a couple weeks out. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. No trades for me just yet, just waiting for this to figure itself out. Holding strong. What are people saying right now? 267 to 39. That's fucking nuts. I cannot believe the SIVB. Oh shit, look at the market. Still tanking. Wow. Had a nice little jump up and then just completely derailed itself. I think we're going right down to this 387 level, 37.40. Wow. Maybe Melly is also one of those giant opportunities. It could see 1100. That's not a massive drop, though. Qs are bouncing at around the 230-ish level. Hoodie mellow out. I'm just trying to find one perfect setup, put some sides behind it, cash out a grand or two, and then call it a morning. Because it is Friday, so be careful of the chop. I don't know about the same day expirations today. I think I might play a trade that's next week out or something like that. Once I can start to see a little bit of a turn, I might take that. But this is a clear downtrend, so I would not take a reversal just yet. I know I talk about Bollinger Band reversals all the time, but these Bollinger Bands right here expanding almost like a 90 degree, not a 90 degree angle, but straight down. Is that 90 degrees? Yeah, something like that. When it's straight down like this and there's no consolidation, that's not showing me any bounce level whatsoever. I don't even have a contract queued up just yet, just because I don't really want to deter myself from getting involved in anything. I honestly might get involved on this meta play. I've been so in tune with meta lately, but I don't know. Oh shit, NVIDIA just completely died. Wow, that was the trade. That was the trade, and here's the 226.50 support line too. If you're not comfortable playing puts, you could always play the SOX S. This thing is going to go crazy when ETFs, or not ETFs, but like the semiconductor industry does terribly. They were 19 yesterday, now it's 22. Damn. Talk about a payday. Tesla, still kind of hovering around that 170 mark. Somebody got that? What is that? To me, it feels like everything is collapsing a little too fast. After a $10 drop day yesterday, I don't think we're going to get another one today. I think we might see that 387, and then we'll start to see a minor bounce. So let's look for strength in stocks. If you see any stock with strength right now, it's going to soar for the rest of the day if the market could start to bounce. So let's look. Waste management, kind of chilling. So notice everything's red, but waste management is still green. This is where people are hiding out their money. Nike, Walmart, everybody prepares and buys very safe stocks, consumer staples for a recession. And these are kind of beat up too, so Walmart might actually be a good play. Walmart might be a really great play. Walmart has a lot of strength. I don't know if I like playing Walmart, but coin is down 10%. Holy shit. This thing is just going to get destroyed today. Oh my god. I might set an alert around this 50-ish area. At or below. That is crazy. Yeah, everything is straight down right now. Snow puts look wild, but I'm not too confident in an all-day sell-off like I was yesterday. I know it looks weak, I know it's still weak, but I think that we're gonna tap these support levels and then we'll have a nice bounce. So I think I might actually queue up some calls, although this is crazy. This downtrend is nuts, just all day selling. So I don't want to get caught in the complete sell-off. So just waiting. I don't really want to play SPX either, but I think I'm going to try it. See what we can do with these bad boys. This is yesterday. Let me do in today's. I feel like the contract premiums will be pretty cheap. 39.30s or 500. These are actually really expensive. Might play with the SPYs on Monday, not same day. Same day expirations I feel like are pretty shitty in this situation. So I'm going to look at SPY calls. Maybe these 389s. At least 390s for Monday expiration. I'm just going to push them to my scanner here. They're at 219. Earlier today they were at 336. They're not going to get to that high of the day, but I am going to play a call at this 387.36 bounce. It just hit this. I'm just going to buy a couple here. See if it lets me in. If it gets below that level, then this is just going to be a collapse all day. But I'm looking for a quick little bounce here. See if I can get any sort of love. I'm just going in on 3 quick contracts here. Might go in for 10, honestly. Here comes the bounce. I was waiting for a little bit below, but I did kind of just bottom tick that. I don't even know what my contract basis is right now. 218 is where I got a fill at 3, 218 fill. I really want 10 of these, but it is still weak. There's a ton of volume coming in here. I feel like they're trying to bottom this out for at least a short amount of time, and maybe I'll catch a nice little reversal here. I want to get more than 3 though. So 218 is here. I'm not going to set a stop just yet because I want to get a little bit more. Hopefully it comes back down my way, and then I'll probably buy. I'm going to just buy 7 more to put it up to 10 contracts, and then I'll keep myself at a small stop loss. But I think that I just bottom ticked that on my first level entry. Yeah, now it's starting to reverse a little bit. Right at that level, that was perfect. I'm only have $50 on the trade. That sucks. I want to do 10 contracts, but I'm waiting to see how this candlestick closes. Still got some weakness. It could still go below this. The Bollinger Band, like I said, is still on a straight downtrend. So I'm not so certain on a reversal just yet, but it's starting to look like it's about to. Keep in mind this is a downtrend, so I don't think that this is going to hold very much unless we see a nice spike above this 389. Could push us in the money. But I am paying attention to this 387.50. That's my my stop loss. So I'm right at my cost basis right now. I might start scaling in a couple more if I can get below this 218. I gotta sneeze too. One sec. All right, we're back. Wow, that hurt. All right, so 218. I think that we're trying to form this bottom right now, but I think that we're only going to go up to this 389 level before we start to sell off even more. I think that we're starting to get a little bit exhausted on the downside. I want to get more, but I don't want to get caught in the sell-off down below 387 because we are weak, but we are in a complete downtrend. So I don't think that we're going to see any sort of like major bounce right now because this is a lot of selling pressure, but there is a lot of room up. So we could see around this 389 level. It is going to be a quick scalp. Hopefully we can get on like one more red candle. I might look to grab some more. I'm trying to get up to 10 contracts. I'm not going to look for a big amount of gain here, maybe like $500 if possible. But if it goes right below this, there's a ton of weakness. I'll probably end up getting out. Try to get one at 221 here, see if we can fall. The thing is for me is I don't want to buy that many more higher than my cost basis. Because if it starts to run, it's going to go up to like 250, 260. I should have grabbed 10. The 15-minute does look a little strong. I know this is like pretty distorted. I'm going to get a bigger screen here while I'm in New York. I just traveled to New York from Florida, so it's not the largest setup, but I'm up $20 a contract, which is nothing. So I'm going to see this spike up to 399. That'll be my profit takeout zone. So we're at 241. I only have 3, which sucks, but good trade regardless. Up 73, 12%, 76. I feel like I could end up just taking this profit, honestly. Just starting the day out a little green here. And then I'll take a real trade here in a second. Yeah, that was not much money at all. I was hoping for like 10 contracts, but I got nervous. So I made 85 bucks on 3 contracts, but if you have a small count, you can clearly make money off of a good trade here. But I am looking at this 15-minute chart on the SPY now. So we got the reversal. Let's see, 15 minutes. That was a good bounce. Let me look at this 15-minute chart real quick. That was easy money. So this is very, very similar to what I was talking about. This is that little green consolidation after a massive drop down. So we could start spiking up a little bit longer just because this looks like a clear reversal trend. That support line bounce was literally nailed to a T. So good buy here. I got it like around this level. Should have brought 10 or 20 or 30, whatever. Should have grabbed a bunch more than I did, but I was scared of the all-day sell-off. But it looks like we're starting to get a little bit of reversal here. It might be good to end up taking some puts because of this 15-minute chart. But it is still a little bit early to determine if this is going to be a sell-off day. We did hit my profit target on the downside, so I don't see a lot more room on the downside, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I feel like this should probably be a green candle, maybe end up around this 392 level. But we're going to have to wait and see after this next move. This could get completely rejected. Let me draw that downtrend one more time from the 5-minute chart. This could be easy money to the downside too. So maybe this is just some consolidation, and then we end up ripping down. Remember what I said about these bearish engulfing candles, and then there's a little green spike, and then it just gets sold off again. So rejection, big ass rejection. So we'll see what happens here. Next candlestick on the 5-minute, and here in about 9 seconds will tell us everything, and that's where I'm going to determine a direction. So I'm in the call side right now at 390. Well, I'm not in anything, but I have these queued up for 390 calls just in case we want to continue to break out. But I'm going to extend this drawing a little bit. Looks like it wants to test this trend. And now I'm starting to feel like it should be on the downside because of this 15-minute candlestick. So I'm going to switch these to puts. I'm going to go back to puts on these, and I'm going to go to 389s or 388s. Actually, let's do 387 since it's right there. Since it's out of the money, the 226, they were just 3. I don't think it's going to be too much money, but I think I might have missed the drop. I think I might wait for this downtrend test, see what it does at this level. So I'm going to be patient. Up a small 85 bucks, which is nothing, but I am going to make a good trade with a good amount of size with a small stop loss. So I'm just waiting for that perfect opportunity. I might play the downside at this downtrend break. Maybe it'll break it a little bit, and then I feel like we could end up seeing some bear flags here. Seems like the market's weak enough for a bear flag setup. Nvidia is bouncing at that level, around that 227 level. We could end up taking puts on Nvidia as well. I feel like Meta will have a nice bounce play. Everything is really, really weak right now with a downtrend in place, so maybe it's just some consolidation. If we start to break all these, we might see a nice run up today, which would be nice to see. I would love to play some calls, to be honest, but I'm not going to be biased on the downside, even though I think that we did hit my target price on the downside. Let me see if there's any more below that 387.50 that we could play. But when I zoom out, I don't see too many more support lines that is possible for us today. Potentially. Yeah, I mean, I guess we could potentially see this 386.30. These charts are so small compared to what I'm used to. But here we are. This is the other target price at 386.30. So could be a nice stop loss potential here. I want to get this a little bit above 389. I think that would be a really good opportunity for a bear flag. So we could test this downtrend. I want to see it test this 389.50. We could get a nice fill around 2 at 387 puts, and then if it starts to spike down, they could pay $100 a contract. That would be That's best case scenario in my opinion. Let me get the snipping tool. I wonder if Silicon Valley Bank is open yet. Anybody see that? All right, we're getting that push. See what we can do here. Nice little rip. Still hasn't hit that target price for me to get in just yet. It's at 2. I could start to scale in. I'll put a limit order at 1 at 200 there, and then I'll start to buy in bulk. There we go. Unless it starts to squeeze, so I'm just getting in a starter position. 192. Does look a little bit more bullish than I want it to right now on the 15-minute chart. It's a pretty big buy candle here. Not a ton of volume on it though. Got about 50 seconds until this candle closes. On the 5-minute, the 15-minute, it is that green candle, but it's a little bit stronger than most of the ones that are a little bit less. So the green candle, what I was talking about for the rejection, is a little bit less than this. It's like right up at the bottom of this red engulfing. This is still an early candlestick. You know, it's only 2 15-minute candles, so it's not going to tell us a whole story. But maybe potentially can get some love out of this. I kind of want to see a little bit of a break outside of it, but I don't want it to close outside of it. That's the other issue. Looks like it has a really good opportunity for some downside, so I might end up playing some down here, this 180 level. See if we can get a nice bear flag set up for at low of the day test down at 386. That would be massive. A little bit of a breakout here. Here's that break. See if we can reject that. Might take one more down here at 176. If it starts to break out, I only have 2 contracts, but this is that perfect entry point for me right here. If it starts to break above this, around this 390.30, then I'll stop out of these 2, or I'll start adding a bunch more for that reversal, because these were 300 a piece. These are for Monday expirations. And some puts here lightly at VWAP. So starting to get that little push. I don't know if this is going to be worth the play. At 188, so I'm down $28 a contract, 30 a con. Yeah, this looks pretty bullish now. We bottom ticked that side. I don't think that this is going to break. I think this just completely broke away from that mark. It's going almost a high of the day at this point. Jesus, 390.97. Like I said, I don't know if this doesn't continue down. I don't feel like it's going to be a big sell-off day. But I'm still waiting a little bit here. I have 2 contracts. Maybe I'll end up throwing like 5 or 8 of them if we can start to see a nice long wick here before it closes. We got a long time before it closes. We got about 3.5 minutes. So I think it might be a dud, to be honest. Unless it starts coming back below 390. Watch out for Tesla, though. Tesla, Meta on the call side. That's why I'm so light on the put side right now. Wow, Meta has so much room. I think that Meta might be one of my plays, guys. I know I'm in the puts right now. I'm going to wait and see how this plays out. But if this starts going, I'm going to switch quickly to Meta. These are at 165. Yeah, it's starting to get a little weaker here. I'm going to take some down here. I have a 167 fill for 2. Should push me back down to like 170. Would love this rejection candle all the way back down to low of the day. It's not filling me though. Still got 3 minutes before this closes. 2 minutes and like 20 seconds actually. Still down on this, $8 a contract, but I only have 2. I'm trying to get it up to 10 potentially. Just want to see a little bit cheaper price here. 178, 177. Just failed that VWAP. Just got one at 174. Trying to drop my average down here. See if we can get that failed breakdown. I don't think that we're going to return to high of the day. I think that it's going to be pretty tough to do that. But I am going to keep my stop loss pretty small once I get to a full position up here. Probably going to risk 10 contracts and just keep like $100 stop loss, maybe $200. Be down 120 on the day since I'm up that small, $85. But on the contra side here, if it starts to fall, these were just 300, so that could be $1,300. So $200 risk versus a potential $800, $900 gain on the downside. I would say that that's a pretty good risk-reward opportunity. Let me get a little cheaper here. So we still got 1 minute and 20 seconds till we close this candle. I would love to see this with a huge upper shadow here, so we can start to see a nice little fall. Only in 3 contracts. No, I don't want to get at 184. Did not mean to get that, but I do have 4 here. I meant to set a little limit at 170s, but I have 4 contracts at 184 now. It's a little higher than I want it to be. 15-minute chart is failing a little bit here. Watching this 15, it's pretty tough to tell if this is going to continue to break out towards that high of the day. If it does, I'm going to stop myself out small, and I'm going to play Meta. Because Meta has a lot of room up to that 184 level, and then probably a lot higher. It looks really strong. Makes me think that the market's also going to go. So I might end up getting stopped out of this trade. I have 4 contracts at 184, so down $40. I think my max loss on this would be like 120. So I could be basically flat on the day. But damn, Meta has such a nice room. If this rips to high of the day here, then I'm probably going to hop out. I need to start seeing some weakness. I don't know if we're going to get that. It looks like it's completely bottom ticked and it's going to start running it up. It's at 175. 4 contracts still. 168. I think this is pretty strong, guys. This is a nice little uptrend it's in now. On the 5 minute, it's going to take a second for this to break down. I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to rush towards that high of the day. And now I'm really starting to be turned on by Meta. This thing is just going. Damn, I'm missing out on this. Keeps bouncing off this downtrend play, and I swear by next week this thing is going to be pushing hard. I'm in 4 contracts. I'm down $80. Yeah, I should probably get out of that SPY play. I think I'm now red on the day. Small red, but we're red. 120, down 35 on the day, 27 on the day. The thing is if it doesn't reject this high of the day mark, then we're still in business because these are for Friday or next Monday expiration. I just think that bottom was put in today at 387.58. The only other one I saw was at 386, so it's not much lower. And I think we're going to see some buyers from yesterday start to come in because that was a really big drop yesterday, and this is now looking bullish as shit on the 15-minute chart. If it closes above this 390 on the 15-minute, which we still have 9 minutes, then I'll probably be out. But what do I have in 184 average? 154 is 120. Yeah, I think I need to get out of this, guys. I'll set my stop here down at 145-ish, 150. So it would be about a 160 loss. put me down about 80 bucks on the day, but I just want to be sure that before I go into anything heavy today, I can play this pretty well. I bottom tick these calls. I can't say that I wish I held them because I didn't get in as many as I wanted to, but wow, Meta, fuck you, dude. Wow. I missed out on that trying to play some puts. Damn it, that is crazy. Meta is so strong. I'm going to cancel these orders real quick. Still think there's an opportunity for us here. Keeps making higher highs though, so that makes me a little nervous. But I might battle this position for a while. Down 14 bucks a contract. I don't think that we're going to reverse, to be honest, back down to this low of the day, but I guess it is possible. Like I said, I need to see this break below this. This is the 15-minute chart. I need to have this below probably 389.50 for me to feel confident in these puts. They are Monday expirations, so they're not going to chop me away too much. It's not going to be a real big trade unless I put more size behind it, but could end up paying pretty well here. I am going to put my stop loss back on these just in case it does start to squeeze, because it does have that potential. I'll lose 40 bucks on 4. It's $160. I'll be down 80 on the day, which is nothing. And I'll wait for a good opportunity. I still think it might be Meta to break high of the day. Damn. That thing is beautiful. Might reject that pre-market high, so just be careful of that. But if we start breaking out on the SPY, Meta and NVIDIA are my two biggest watches. NVIDIA is actually still red. That's a bear flag if I've ever seen one. This could potentially hit this downtrend that it's in. It's kind of rejecting this right now. NVIDIA low of the day could be a massive play, especially if the market reverses. If I were to play anything, it'd be NVIDIA puts for this descending triangle sort of situation it's trying to set up. But if the market goes green, this will obviously break out. So on the upside, Meta is definitely the better play. But I am still in these SPY puts, and I'm just chilling in them for now. I think with the way that this is setting up, it's going to see a nice squeeze, which is why I set my stop loss already. I'll put them at 146 and 147. So I have all of them to stop me out just in case. But if I start seeing some weakness, I'm going to add to my 4 contracts. Hopefully get up to 10. I just want to make sure that I'm mitigating my risk and not starting in the hole down 500. Seeing some weakness here. We got 4 minutes for this candlestick to close. Hopefully it doesn't continue to go the upside. But with the experience that I have a feeling it's going to break out today, especially after yesterday, unless we see a break towards this 389 level. It's kind of sitting right at this VWAP level. I don't know if this is going to be too much of an opportunity today, but just waiting and watching. Still in the puts though. Here we go. Here we go, baby. Down to this level. Hopefully we can get below this 389. That's what I'm really looking for, but I don't know, man. This could be that downtrend bounce. So usually when they break out, you'll see a nice little bounce off the downtrend, which is exactly what we might be seeing right now. This is a downtrend from pre-market. So if it bounces off this, I would not be I would really not be surprised to see below this level. 389 would be huge on the put side. I would add more if we can get to that level, but I don't know. I think that this might be the bounce. So I might move my stop loss up here, lock in like a smaller loss around 148. Oh, forgot it only allows you to move one at a time. Yeah, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see a nice squeeze today. It looks like. I think that meta might be the best play. I think that meta is probably going to run above that high of the day 184. There's so much strength now. I think I'm gonna have to play that. I'm gonna get a stopped out here. I'm gonna probably move these up even a little higher. I'm gonna put this at 148 just to mitigate some losses here. Start out the day probably down, I don't know, $40, which is nothing, but I am going to put bigger size on a trade that I like. I think it might be this Facebook play. If I look at the daily chart real quick, there's a lot of strength up here. It's kind of having trouble around this 184 range. This is a nice little bearish engulfing pattern though, so we could see, I don't know, man. This is a tough day to trade. This is a really tough day to trade. These things are kind of sideways. People are trying to figure out what's going on. I do want to see what's going on with SIVB real quick. Did they open up? Does anybody know if they open? No, they're still halted. Wow. It's at $39. Look at this weekly chart. Holy shit. From 320 all the way down to 39. I mean, that's not a good sign for the economy. If banks are failing, I don't think it's going to trickle into like the JP Morgans and Bank of America because they were kind of doing some shady shit, but this is still wild. Anybody that played puts on these made billions of dollars. Is there even options on these? There was. Holy shit. These contracts are probably worth like $30 a piece, if not less, maybe like $5 a piece. And some of these people are waiting for that open and they'll be worth like 20,000. Holy shit. Holy shit. 220s, which they were at yesterday, are now 11,000 without being open. So these are probably going to be worth like 40K each, and they were probably only like $6 a contract. I'd be so pissed if I was in puts right now and they didn't open the stock. What do we got going on over here? We're still getting walked down. We rejected that breakout level, so potentially it could still see a walk down below. I mean, I'm basically break even on these. Break even right now. If we can start to see that drop towards low of the day, that would be insane. This 15-minute chart also looks really good. The downtrend might, like I said, as soon as we break out, usually we test these and bounce. So let's see. If we can get below that 389, that's a massive level. I'm up a little bit now. I don't want to add more. I'm only in 4 contracts. I'm not going to put a ton of risk on because Fridays I hate trading, but we'll see what we can do here. Maybe we can spike up to 250, capture like $300 profit. Call it a nice little day. No calls today either. We are lit. Okay, 183, 184, 179. We're starting to see that weakness. This 15-minute does look like a bear flag to me. I think that it is possible to go below that 387. I would say it's probably kind of unlikely, though, with the way that this hammered in that bottom. This is my support line target that I had today to play that bounce. Played the bounce, took a very, very small gain. I was a little bit nervous that we were going to see a big sell-off because there was so much selling pressure until I saw this massive spike in volume. That was a really good opportunity for the call side. But this is kind of like a bonus support level here at this 386. So still in these 4 contracts. I'm up a little bit now. I'm up $20, not $20. Yeah, $20 a contract. I'm probably going to cancel these stop losses here and reset them now that we're diving down. So I'm going to cancel these, getting up to 210. I'm not going to be up very much because it's only 4 contracts, but I'm up 170 on the day, still up 86 on that play. This could be a bounce. It is trying to bounce at that 390 level or 389. I need to see it go below that for me to take advantage of Probably like a 225 take profit zone, but I'm not going to get my hopes up here. They are for Monday, so I could hold them for a little bit here. This is a nice little buy candle that kind of makes me think it's going to try to reverse, but here we are. We're going to wait. I'm going to have this 225 profit target for 4 contracts. Take like almost 200 bucks on the trade, but not looking for anything crazy. Just trying to build up that momentum so when I do take, a couple $1,000 trade, I'll have that stop loss around 300 and that'll be my profit for the day. So it'd be basically zero risk for me because I'm playing with house money at that point. Just think it's probably going to bounce at this 389. It's pretty strong. I saw a big buy block right here at 389, and I think that that's probably going to spike up. I'm going to set my stop around 158. Very choppy. Not seeing much. Meta did reject that 184 level, so good thing we didn't chase that. It is kind of starting to form a cup and handle formation over here. I don't think I'll play this just yet unless I see the market start to squeeze, which very well could with this hammer candle looking thing on the 15-minute chart. Tesla just kind of sideways. We might just get the chop today. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of opportunity. I do kind of like Tesla, though, up to this 177 mark. This is starting to form a cup and handle as well. I would probably wait for this pullback, maybe around this 172.75, if we like around 1050-ish for that break, if the market can kind of turn around here. But let's see what we got going on. We're at 192. I don't really want to take that profit. I'd rather either lose the money than take $40. Because I think that there's opportunity to spike up to that 225 if we can start getting weaker. It tried a couple times here. I think that we're now, if we break below 389, we are in good business. I don't know if anybody's in this put trade. It's very small, very slow moving, but still good opportunity. If you took some size, of course, but I of course did not. I only have $800 in the trade here. If I can get a nice spike below 389, I might just take the profit. But it seems to be that that's a pretty tough level to break right now. See if we can get some sellers to 388 here. I see a bunch of 389 levels. Let's expand this a little bit so I can read it a little better. It's not letting me. There we go. I'm getting some sellers, but I don't know if it's going to be enough sellers to push it below. Yeah, okay, we're starting to get towards that sell block again, but there's so many buyers right at that 389 that it's going to be tough to break. So there's got to be somebody that sweeps the book down, which needs to be a large, probably a dark order rather than a light order. Dark order meaning an order you can't see, but there's a lot of buyers at that level, so it's going to be pretty tough to crack. 15-minute chart could do it, but it's still bouncing at that 389. Makes me think that it's not going to get to that point. If we go above this VWAP at 389.88, I'll probably just stop out pretty small. Starting to take it down again, though. Sellers are starting to step in, but it needs to be a dark order. We're not going to be able to see a massive order on the upside. Oh yeah, we're gonna go through now. Somebody just took that sell block. It's down to 389.02, 389.10. Now that buyer is still there. So the way that it works is like there's a pair off price. So there's obviously the buyers and the sellers, but there's a big ass buy bulk. Somebody just took it. So look at all this. So there was a big dark order that just came through that pushed it down below. It's at 218. I think I might end up taking those profits around 218 real quick if I can. Wouldn't let me. Bastards. I just took the profits. I think it's gonna head lower, but I just took the profits. Low ass trade. 223 on the day, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but it's been having some steady, consistent $300, $400, $600, $800 days, if you guys have seen the last 4 or 5 days. So that stuff adds up over time. I haven't seen a ton of opportunity. I could put a lot more size on there, but without the volatility, it's been really choppy the last what 6 months now at this point. It's been it's been tough. It's been tough to play a lot of these trades, but not bad. Not bad opportunity whatsoever. Did not break out towards that. This 15-minute chart looks like it's going to head towards this low. I just don't know if it has enough volume to do that. As you can see, it's starting to fade off. So this could just be a consolidation day, which most Fridays are. Yesterday was a bag. I don't know if anybody took any SPX puts, but I saw contracts go from 80 to fucking $6,000 a piece at the top. $80 to $6,000. That's how crazy that is. Obviously, you're not going to hold that all day because it's same day expiration. But holy shit, that was one of the best paying days I've seen that somebody could have made money on in a really long time. Should probably signal that I sold those. 1 second. Wow, these are up to 230 now. Whatever. Now they got that rejection. This could be a good opportunity to buy calls on Meta now. You know, it topped this high of the day mark here. We're getting that drop down. It could be a bounce at VWAP. Let's see how much these are. I'll probably use all my profits to play that. All right. I'm probably going to look at same day expirations. Don't judge me. But these 185s are only $40 a piece. And the in the monies right now are 150. So these could easily pay $100 a contract for a very small risk. Ooh. I hate playing same day expirations, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to buy 5 of these for now. Is it going to let me, though? That's the question. The question is, do I want same days or next week's? How much are these for next week? I might just swing these in general. Even the 190s. These 185s are ridiculous. 355. It probably is safer to play these than it is the other ones, but let's see. It's not going to pay as much, like $50. I'd have to buy more. But that fade is going to suck ass. I'm going to go on a light amount here and buy 2 of these for next week. I think it's got room. I don't really like this Bollinger Band though. I think that this is bouncing. The SPY is bouncing, which is a good sign. I'm not in just yet, but I do like this. Let me draw this downtrend real quick, or this uptrend. I'm going to wait for it to test this, and then I'll get in. I think I might buy both. Maybe just like smaller contracts, probably like 2 or 3 for next week's, just to put like 1,000 at risk, and then I might put like $500 or $300 into same day expirations. If that one goes to 0, that's fine. I really do believe in this just because of the weekly chart. I mean, this looks insane to me. Still in this little trend line that it's in. I think that we're going to bounce off this level, and then next week we could see this spike up towards that $200 level if the market is bullish, which, to be honest, I don't see why we would completely break down. I think it's just some negative headlines until we still see some like war shit. I don't think that there's enough news to completely plummet the markets. I think everybody's just saying the same shit. There's either fear headlines or there's positive headlines, and I think it just flip flops every week. I think it's the real effects of the market we're going to start seeing in months down the road when inflation really starts kicking in and people don't have any money. Credit card debts like are really fucking people over. I think we're going to see the effects a lot later on. Just want to see this tap like 182.25. Not going to really move these contracts much. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Just grabbed one for next week at 350. I have two more waiting at 345. Just got those. These are for next week though, so they're not going to be too much damage. If it goes down to maybe my stop loss, maybe that 160 mark. Still be up on the day, $60. But I don't really want to. I know we're starting to get a little weaker here, but these are for next week, so it's not going to be that bad. Could get that VWAP bounce. I think that this has a nice breakout. It's just showing some consolidation. 345, it's at 340. These are next week, so I don't get that theta decay or that chop. So that's what I'm paying attention to right now. I do like Meta a lot. I don't know if I should swing them for next week. Maybe I should sell these and get 2 weeks out instead. I think maybe 2 weeks out just to protect myself from that weekend theta. I do want to swing these though. Contracts. I think I'm going to take the Meta same days as well. Just to feel something crazy. They're now, these 185s are now 300 a piece. They could pay a nice little $700 if it reverses on for us. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for 5 of these. It's really risky. It's a nice little downtrend here. It's bearish engulfing. But I feel like there's an opportunity to go to the high of the day mark. I'm going in at 39. That's pretty high, but is it going to let me in? I'll wait for these same days. I'm going to try and get like the perfect entry point on these. I would say that perfect entry point is probably right here, 181.50. Getting real weak though. The market is starting to get walked down here, but I think that this has a nice breakout potential. I'm going to buy 10 at 33 here. See if we can get that spike back up to 90. Let's see what can happen. I'll risk $100. Put a stop at 23. But risk to reward ratio, $300 risk, $100 loss, potentially up to $100. Make $700 on this level. Let's go. Where did I get him? 33. So I'm up $50. Let's see what can happen here. Let's get this little downtrend drawn. See if we can get a break out of this bad boy. Start pushing towards that high of the day. That'd be cool. I'm going to need to put the Meta calls over here. Let's just look at the 15-minute real quick. Could be cool. Could be cool to be up to that 183 mark. I might take some quick gains on this at some point, but I'm already up $90, $100. I'd like to see this start to squeeze. So that was a pretty good entry point. I don't know if this is going to be a good opportunity or not. I'm up 300 on the day, or was just $300. I'd like to see this explode. $500 to $1,000 usually my target most days, but see if we can get this little spike. Small losses on the downside, obviously always going to stay that way. Might keep my stop at like 27, so now there's only like a $60 risk or $50 risk versus potentially a $700 payout. You do the risk reward ratio there, that's good. Pretty early in the day too, so Meta has a while. These could be a pretty fat paycheck just off of risking $300 if I wanted it to be. If I want to hold them, if I believe in it, if it goes the high of the day, these things could fucking rip. And they're at 45 now, so I'm up 132 on the trade, 355 on the day. I think that this has a lot of bullish momentum, and the market has a bullish engulfing pattern. I think we're sitting pretty right now. Could push this up to 60, 70 bucks. Maybe I would take that profit. Same days are pretty tough to just hold on to for a while, so I might have to take these profits a lot sooner than I think. If it rejects, then I'll probably end up getting stopped out, but this downtrend would be a really nice break. Let's see what we can get here. I'm in it at a nice average, so I'm not going to rush the sell, even though this kind of looks bearish. Every time you touch this downtrend and it gets rejected, it's not the best sign. Yeah, it looks like it might come down now. Let's see. These things move fast. To 29. That's a pretty fat rejection right there. 70 bucks like that. It looked good for a second, then we got rejected at that 390 level, and now we're getting rejected on this downtrend. Still feel like we're consolidating. I kind of want to buy 10 more, actually make a good trade out of this. $40, it's nothing. Just came out of that. We just broke down this one. I don't feel like that's going to happen again, but that might have been one of those areas where just wanted to stop people out before it ran, but I'm not going to get my hopes up there. I'm going to get rid of this. That's my target. This is my support. This is probably where I'll stop out if it gets below this level. Take a little $100 loss, but on the upside, could make a lot more if it can get towards that 184. They'll be worth about $80 a piece, which would be about 500 bucks. So $100 loss, $500 stop, or $500 gain, $100 stop. I like that. I like how the market's bullish too. And this has yet to break out. It's at 40, 300 bucks. What am I in on Meta right now? The 3 for next week and then this week. Let me see a push. Let me see a push to like 600. I would probably cash out. Here's into the new uptrend that it just bounced off of. So as long as it doesn't go below this, we should be in business. I don't really want to take $120 either. 333. I would like to see a spike to 183. I think that we have that in us here. I need a little bit more volume. Here's a volume spike. I might just be chopping. I don't want to just take $100 though. It's kind of stupid. I just don't want to get caught in a little bear flag consolidation level here either. I don't think that the market has enough juice today. I think I might just stop myself, break even. So there's no risk on this trade. I have a stop loss at 33. That's exactly what I'm going to do. No risk on this trade. I'm gonna keep my stop at 34 to lock in $10 and feel rich. And then if it runs for me and I can make 300, 400, $500, I'll be happy with that. Low risk on the downside, potentially a good upside. Zero risk on this trade. I'll like push it up a little bit more. But it keeps getting rejected at that level, so I feel like I might as well just stop myself out $20. Yeah, just stop myself out $20. And I'll keep playing these for a little bit. Let's see what can happen here. Up 208, but I'm still in the meta calls for next week. Give myself some room. I just don't like that the theta value is just deteriorating these contracts. I could make this more interesting and just buy like 20, 30 contracts and see if we can make a quick buck, but I don't really like this formation whatsoever, especially with the Bollinger Band just pointing at it. Oh man, I'm about to do something stupid, but I do have a feeling this is gonna go. Dark orders you can't see. They become light at 320. I don't know if you're still in here watching that, but I just saw that. But 320, you can't see dark orders until about, they come light. I think it's at 315 or 320. It's called dequotes when they come in. Do I want to get involved in this real quick? Or is this going to break down? These are at 30. I would have $20 set. I think I might buy 20 contracts. Risk $20, or risk $100. Let's set this at maybe a $30 entry. It just keeps getting rejected. I don't know if it has enough juice to go. I do have those contracts for next week, so I could probably just hold on to those rather than try and time this. Tesla's going though. Tesla's having a good time. NVIDIA still trash. I feel like Meta is that one that if it does go, it's gonna go. I might just buy 10. Fuck it. I know I'm buying it higher than I had it, but keeps getting rejected at that level. Seems to be a really good sell sign right here. Yeah. I think if I can get it below VWAP one more time, I might get back involved. A little heavier though. I'm going to try for a bounce here with 20 contracts. It's going to be a quick scalp though, so just be careful. I'm trying to get 20 at 25. I'm in 20 at 25 here. See if I can get any sort of bounce at that level. I might set my stop at 20. So it'd be only $100 risk. I think it's too weak. I don't think I'm going to get that bounce. Yeah. I'm going to set my stop at 19. I'm going to get stopped out. Quick little $110 loss. $120 loss. Just would not get above this, so I'll take that loss any day. So I'm down $27 right now. Ended up giving back some, but I'm still in that trade for 2 weeks out, so I'll wait for that bounce. I might just hop out of that and stay flat. It's a pretty big breakdown. That is pretty nuts. It's a pretty wild stop, honestly. How much are these 180? Is there 182.5s for these? There is. There's 74. Just gonna get a couple of these 75. I might risk $200 on this. I have 10 of these. I'll stop myself out at 55. If I go down $200, then I lost on the day. I'll probably walk away. But I'm just trying to get. I see that this is a huge breakdown and there's a lot of momentum to the downside, but I'm just looking for like a little jump up. You know, sometimes you'll get those candlesticks like this with the big long wick. Market is getting weaker though. I don't know how much weaker Meta has in it. I don't think it's gonna go to the low of the day, but we'll see. Down $40 on the trade, $20. I'd love to see this just bounce, just get a quick scalp in and out. But this has been a real boring day for me, so just trying to get something quick. Might end up getting stopped out and being down like 250 on the day, but that is nothing, all things considered. A lot of volume coming in here, so there's probably still some sellers in there. Market's just choppy. I'm in the 182.50s now. Not seeing a lot of opportunity. This is usually a pretty bearish sign, so I think we still have some room down. See, if it doesn't bounce to this 181 level, then I'll stop myself out. This candle just took these from 130 all the way down to 70. That's crazy. I think I might be playing with a dead position here, guys. 15-minute chart still looks weak. If there's any bounce, it'll be at 181. At that point, I'll probably just stop myself out, $100. Damn, that's unfortunate. It looked like it had that potential to bounce, and then it just completely broke down, but whatever. Stop myself out 100 potentially here. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get out here. Sheesh, what a sell-off. That's nuts. Down 150 on this trade. I'm still in it, but doesn't look the best. I'm down $100 on it right now. Still got room, but has a little bit of a bounce candle. This is what I was looking to scalp. This bounce, but it waited for this candlestick. So still in right now. It's at 66. So down 90. Down 70. I'd like to see a green candle try to reverse this, but I don't know if it's got the juice for it. Hate trading Fridays, guys. There's no momentum ever, ever. There's never a change. There's never a move. It's all slow volume shit. I gotta stop trading on Fridays. All this to be down $140. It's like it's not even worth the time. Taking small losses though, you can't really be upset about trying to get a little win out of this, but there's just nothing. There's no opportunities. There's no chart setups. There's no nothing. Like what the hell is this? It's just sideways action every Friday. Nvidia's getting or Tesla's getting a little jump. Meta's just looks like it still has that downside look to it. Stop myself out at 55, 56, 57. I'm not going to lose the full 200 here. I'll lose like 180 on this trade. Make myself lose 180 on the trade. So I'll be down 180. I'll probably be down like 250 on the day. Just call it. I might have to stop myself out of the play for next week too. Just because everything looks so weak. I might roll those forward though. I might actually take a swing trade on Meta, like a real one, and actually swing it with some size, maybe like $5,000 or so. Just because I know that Meta with that weekly chart, I'm still kind of biased towards this short term here. I know Friday is probably not going to start that run because it's supposed to be for next week, but this chart setup right here looks insane to me. This breakout, this retest, and I feel like next week around this 178, 179 level is really going to start shooting this, but we'll see. We will see what happens. Just trying to get a little bit of a green candle here, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. I feel like this bearish candle is just going to see a consolidation before we head lower towards that low of the day. There's no action on the SPY, so obviously these stocks aren't going to move. Friday trading is pretty tough, man. My price target on Meta next week, I think 190. I think 190 is it because when I look at the weekly chart, there's so much room. So usually when you see this little like flag situation we got going on here, you'll see the breakout, which you got here. Then it was a little higher at 190. It rejected, but now it's retesting this downtrend, which you'll see a lot on breakouts. So when you see a breakout like that and it's retesting it, so I think at this level at 170, we could retest this high at 190 and push towards this 192, and then this one is a 197 level. So I have a pretty high price target. I'd say 193-ish, 194-ish, potentially above this 197, but I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. I'm just going to say 190, and then even those will pay really well. Got some action on this thing over here right now. I'd like to see this reverse, to be honest. Still in these 10 contracts. I'm up $50. I like to see this spike. I'd like to see this get above. This is a hammer candle, so that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable on the trade. It might reject this downtrend and head lower, but I do like this opportunity. I'm up $3 on the day. Does anybody want lunch? It is rejecting that VWAP level though. I do kind of like this hammer candle. If it goes below this 181.25, then it's a wrap. This shit ass movement, guys. God damn, this is bad. Down to $69, $70. I do like this hammer, but this is rejecting this level. So if it goes below this body, it's over. These are kind of showing signs of weakness too. So SPY could end up going below this 387, but even a dollar drop, what's that going to pay? Not much unless you play next week's, but even that's only going to be like 30, 40 bucks. This is pretty brutal action. I'm going to stay with this meta play just for 1 second. If I get stopped out, I'll have a max loss of 250 on the day and call it. Had a pretty nice week, so I have some profits to play with. This is just some pretty brutal action. There we go. Give me the push. Come on, give me some action above this VWAP. I just want to see a breakout towards that 183 level. These would go in the money and pay me a couple $100. I'm just getting annoyed at this point. Up 90 bucks on the day. The hell's that gonna do for me? $98. I'm trying to get like at least to that $400, $500 threshold because that shit adds up real quick over time. Just want to get a nice push above. I'm only up $100 on the trade. I got stopped out $100 some dollars on the last trade though, which I don't want to be involved with. Might scale out 5 at 90, take half. That's not gonna let me out. Just trying. Out 5 at 88, so it ended up being a profitable trade. Still only 160 on the day though, which kind of blows. See if we can get above this downtrend. It is a falling wedge pattern, or a descending triangle pattern, so let me get rid of some of these lines so it doesn't look so crazy. A lot of chop action. 130 on the day, that's so ass. Friday trading is awful. Usually Wednesdays and Thursdays are my best days. Tuesdays sometimes. Mondays are usually pretty same situation, pretty choppy. I'll try to secure a couple $100 on a day. All right, here we go. We got 90 push here. If we can break out of this falling wedge, I'd be happy. Push towards those contracts in the money. These are strong. Real strong. We got some buyers above 182 here. If we can push it to 182, like 20, this thing could actually end up going a little bit. Above VWAP or at this level. All right, 96. I might take that. Make $20 contract there. That doesn't want me out. 94 maybe. Could sell the market, but it's going to give me shitty ass fills. That's why I always try to join the ask. I got out at 95. 215, exactly where I started. So I'm flat on Meta. Those next week contracts, I'm probably just gonna hold for a little bit. Down 65 bucks on them, about $20 a contract. I'm gonna hold these for a little bit because I feel like these could end up running towards high of the day, and I might end up be able to take some profit off them. Up 240 on the day. I gotta get above that 500 mark, so I might just let Meta go flat for me. Up $22 on Meta. What a trip. $30, 35. Hoodies from Kith. I'm wearing it because I haven't showered in like 3 days, so my hair looks like a rat's ass. So I just had to put a hood up, so you guys didn't judge me. Damn, this thing really fucking went. 113, 117. I should have kept all 10 of them bitches. That would have been $400. That would have put me right at my $500 goal. I'm up 270 on the day. Quickly, things changed. Now we got a bullish engulfing on the SPY. I could just hold these next week contracts. Maybe they'll end up running $100 for me. And that would put me on my $500 goal for the day. Down 20 on it right now, though. $101. What did I sell these for? 96 and 88. 10 contracts right there at that high would have been $300. That's not bad. $400 actually. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. I'm only up 250 on the day though, which I can't be upset about. I've only been here for what, an hour? $250 an hour. I'll take that. Sometimes people get consumed by social media and be like, oh, I need to be making $8,000, $9,000 a day. If somebody handed you $250 to stand somewhere for an hour, would you do it? That is the question of the century. 121 on Crowd. Crowd just had good earnings report and kind of got destroyed. I am kind of liking SPY calls. Let me go back to SPY. We haven't talked about SPY in a while here. So I'm looking at SPY right now. Where are you at? Where's everybody at? 185. So let me take a look at these 185 calls. 38 cents. These got down to 14. Damn. $140 turned 400. All the small accounts out there say you need a lot of money to make a lot of money trading. You don't. 140 to 400. That can quickly start compounding. You just need to be. This is a really bullish engulfing pattern. This is on the 15-minute chart too. What does the 5-minute look like? Damn. That thing is going. And Meta's going to go too. Hopefully. Yeah, Meta is sprinting to the top. Now I'm up on the contracts. I'm up 313 on the day. I had no fear. I was down $100. Now I have no fear. SPY trade here. Looking at the top right here. Okay, so maybe I don't like calls as much because this Bollinger Band is being hit right now, but it is starting to squeeze. So probably see some consolidation right here. Might see a rejection and then a continued breakout at some point. But with that bullishness, this is starting to form that upside. So could be kind of crazy. Could be kind of crazy to go towards that 184, 185. I know it's the weekly chart, and it doesn't look like it's going to start breaking out until next week. I get that, but I am biased on Meta. I think that this is going to be a really great play. I think that SPY could probably go back up to around 395-ish, just off of that daily chart. I just think it needs some sort of green before. I know everybody thinks that the end of the world is coming. I think that we are in a really bad situation right now in the entire economy, and I still think there's going to be a market crash, at least down to like 350-ish, 360 at some point. I don't think it's going to be a massive like collapse that everybody says. I think that it's a different time now, but I do see, maybe a push back up to this 395. There's got to be some sort of green here before we head lower, in my opinion. So, damn, these contracts are floating. I don't even want to look at the 182.50s. Damn. Oh, wow. Jesus Christmas, that is ridiculous. 75 to 150 would have been a quick $750. That would have been a great day. Friday price. Remember when I said I don't like Fridays? I love Fridays. This is sick. 160. Now we're up 100 on these plays. We're up 400. All right, let's go. Let's get to that $500 goal on my Friday. I hate Fridays, so let's just get to that point. We can walk. We're at 183.50. We're getting closer and closer to that. Wow, that is fucking. Sorry for the language, but damn, that is ridiculous. This bottom to top, this hammer candle, guys. The hammer candle. If I can show you real quick, the hammer candle is my favorite play ever. Usually, I like to see this hammer candle on a bottom of a Bollinger Band test because that shows a clear reversal, but when you see a downtrend and then you see a hammer candle, unless it breaks below the bottom of that body, you're in business. Let me see this real quick. Also, this is going to be a consolidation before it hits high of the day. I might have to get in 10 of these real quick. This might actually be like a really good play. Let's see what we got here. See if we can get some love out of this. I'm going to look for, hold on, I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to look at this level real quick. 132. See if we can get a perfect entry point here. I'll just put in a stop loss real small at 130, and then I'll put one at 120. Actually, I'm going to cancel this. I'm getting a little scared. I feel like this might have a little bit more juice down to the left. There's so much. That's so much buy pressure. I don't want to chase everything. I see the SPY here. I see that the SPY has some room up to 393.54, potentially 392. This Bollinger Band is expanding like crazy. So I might dabble. Not a ton of contracts. I might try to ease my way into this one. Let me do. We're getting a little weaker here. Let me try to get a perfect entry on just like 3 contracts, maybe 4 contracts, maybe 5. I love Friday. I fucking love Friday. So instead of me going in on the full 10, because it still might have some weakness here, this is a pretty big spike on not a ton of volume. So might just be shorts covering with a couple buyers in there. We'll see. But I think that this is going to go above that 184. Regardless, whether I make a ton of money on the same days or not, I got this these contracts for next week up 6%. So up 358 on the day. I've had a really smooth, consistent week. Damn, I should have. Damn. You're way too controversial. Nah, dude, that's just my inner demon talking to me. if you don't have controversy in your own head while you're trading, you could get burned. I don't say it's controversy. I would say it's more playing devil's advocate going through each scenario. So it's either you're in or you're out, but you have to you have to weigh all costs, right? There's so much shit that happens in trading. So you could say, oh, I should have bought calls here and held it. But if you look at this low volume starting to fade off here, this might not be a good opportunity because your mind has to think quick, right? I used to work on the New York Stock Exchange, and if you made a mistake down there, you would get your ass beat. So the SPY down here on the 5-minute chart. So if I switch this to the SPY, man, you guys are hammering me. Jack, you are going at me right now, man. SPY right here has this top Bollinger Band. So if this starts to sell off, Meta pulls back. So you got to think of different scenarios rather than just Meta is okay. There's a million other factors that would make this not break out. So if this is at the top Bollinger Band and the SPY is starting to pull back, Meta is going not to break out. So it would not be a good entry point. If I'm scalping same day expirations, I buy 10 of these at 130. I stop myself out at 110 because the market starts to pull back. I'm out. It's not a controversial thing. It's more of like I'm weighing all risk to reward ratios in my head. It's like, yes, this is expanding. This looks great to break out towards this high of the day because it got a double top from pre-market. It hit right here, got rejected. Now we have a lot of buy signs here, but you see that the SPY is getting weaker. So this may not be the best entry point at this point. It looks really tough, looks really strong. We could see a nice little bullish engulfing pattern here. We get some consolidation, maybe we run up. But if this starts to fall back even more because of that Bollinger Band, we can start to see, a little bit more weakness before that breakout. So when you're scalping, you kind of have to be in at perfect entries or you're just going to stop yourself out. And, if you keep your stop losses small, that's great and everything, but you don't want to stop yourself out many, many times in a row. But why is one purple? Why is one just green? So as you progress through trading, you don't really use too many indicators, but I still love the Bollinger Bands. So I confirm with Bollinger Bands. These are red and green just because I haven't changed them to pink and blue, but pink and blue is my brand colors. So you'll see my next era logo. It's all the same branding stuff. So anytime I do anything on social media, it has my colors, candlesticks. So blue is just green and pink is just red. These other ones I just haven't changed just because, I don't know. I got a trading style that is different. To be honest, none of the charts really, like all the colors and the indicators don't really matter. The only thing that I really care about is the Bollinger Bands, the top and the bottom, and the volume. That's all I care about. This could squeeze. This could really squeeze. I would love that. I'm up 8% on this, 373 on the day, 388 on the day. I think this is going to go, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that we have an opportunity. How big of an account do you recommend for scalping? That's a great question, Jack. Let me think about that for a second. It depends on what you want. Like, what's your goal? So when I'm going live and trading, my goal is like $500 to $1,000. Some days I'll go in and I'll throw some like massive size behind a trade if I see a perfect setup. Like next week, you'll probably see me be buying like $10,000, $15,000 worth of Meta, just because I'm waiting for that opportunity. Damn, this thing is going. Wow. $200 goal a day. I mean, that's easy. You could have a $200 account, right? I mean, these contracts, if you're scalping them right here, you could have been in around that $68, $75 price zone that I was at, and you'd be up 100% right now. So, but if you're looking for just like scalping, damn, this thing is Meta. Thank you. I'm up 17% on this trade, and I'm up 455. I might wait for this break. It's kind of triple topping. I'll get to your question in a second. 1 second. Let me make a decision on these. These are at 14%, 440. I might just take that 160 at 4. I know it's for next week, but I'm just saving my capital because I think that I'm putting these at a $4 sell. Let's see if I can get out. I'm a little bit nervous that it's not going to break that high, but if it triple tops, I'll be pissed. Thanks, man. I've been doing this for a very long time. Let's go, Jack. From roasting to loving it. Let's get it. I think that maybe like I don't know, for $200 a day for scalping, I would say an easy. It doesn't really matter how much you have in your account. It's kind of how much you're risking it. It's kind of how much you risk, and it's kind of how much. Man, how do I say this? The amount of money that you have doesn't matter. Like it really doesn't. You can start. I've seen people turn. There's somebody in my channel that I had a while back in 2020, and obviously that was a different time. But he started with like 3K, and he's ran his account up well over 100K. So I think it really just comes down to your risk management and your entry points. So like the controversial thing that you had a comment about, I think that that's like a good point to hit on because I'm controversial in my head, but I play devil's advocate because you kind of just you have to weigh all costs, right? I mean, I'm also one of those people that started with $5,000 in my account in 2019, 2020. When I left the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, I didn't have a ton of money. You know, I was a college kid that just graduated. I had zero money coming out. Why the hell has this not sold on me yet? 392, 425. Um, your volume is low today. What the hell? Is that better? I feel like when I do that, it echoes. I'm going all the way up now. Is that louder? Is she louder? It's fine. Louis, Levin, Levi, we might have to get you a hearing aid, brother. Um, I'm just kidding. I love you, but this is why is this not selling me? I started with $5,000 back in 2020 on the New York Stock Exchange. Met Bill Ackman. I think a lot of people already know this story, but we're out. We're out. Lots of volume here. Maybe it is your headphones. Maybe it's me, man. I'm up $448 on the day, and that was kind of boring. $448. But a lot of people don't know a lot of people know my story now. I talk about it on social media all the time. But basically, met Bill Ackman one time while working on the New York Stock Exchange right before the COVID crash. And the COVID crash was one of the wildest times in the world on the floor because once upon a time there was 4,000 people on the New York Stock Exchange, and now there's only about 400. It might be even less now that like I left in COVID protocols and people figured out that they could trade from home. But it's all algorithms, so it's not as crazy as you would think. It's not people just screaming and yelling. It's like a big TV set nowadays with CNBC. Used to work next to Jim Cramer, which he's a very smart guy. I know people always troll him for being wrong, but he knows everything. It's crazy. Maybe his trading is awful and his timing is awful, but he's smart as shit. And these contracts went from $60 to $204, and I'm just watching them. But basically had a conversation with Bill Ackman. This is a high of the day. Now I'm pissed. And he basically told me when the virus wasn't even here yet in February. I was a finance major, finance and investments. But we were talking about the COVID virus before it became COVID. It was coronavirus at the time. There was like 4 cases in the U.S. There's like 100 cases in China, 0 cases in the U.S. just yet. And I remember him telling me, he's like, if that gets into the U.S., he's like, we're going to tank. And Bill Ackman says, we're going to tank. I'm going to take his advice. So he didn't really tell me what to do, but I just bought like $1,500 worth of SPY options, put options for like a couple months out, really far out of the money. And then I honestly kind of forgot that I did that. So I put like 30% of my net worth into a put option that I had no idea what the hell I was doing because I never really traded options before. It was mostly just equities. But between Bill Ackman and a couple other people I had a conversation with, they were like, the market's going to crash. So I was like, oh, I mean, shit. Well, here's my opportunity. So I put $1,500 into a put option thinking that I was going to make like maybe $500, $300, not really understanding what was going on. And then when I look back 3 weeks later and the market's down 25%, I ended up cashing out $36,000. So from a college kid that had no money, turning $1,500 to $36K, I knew that there was a way for me to make way more money for myself. So I don't think it matters how much money you have in order to make a good amount of money, but that was like my golden ticket to be like, okay, I need to focus on this. So did that, made a good amount of money off of that, and then I turned my account from, I only uploaded about 5K, 6K to a trading account and put it well above six figures during 20 and 21. So it doesn't matter how much you have. It really just depends on your trading style, the setup, the amount of work that you want to put in, and keeping your stop losses small. So if you want to make $200 a day, you could upload 500. You just have to risk more, keep your stop loss smaller. If you want $4,000 in your account, then you don't have to risk as much, you know? So it's just about the slow, consistent compounding gains, and don't look for home runs. You know, I had a couple home runs during that 2020 and 2021 run, but you don't need a million of those to make a shit ton of money. You could find a perfect setup on Meta right now on this daily chart. I mean, shit, you could have done it today. You could have bought 20 contracts, 30 contracts down here for $1,200 down here. Next thing you know, they would have been worth 4,000. Would have been easy money for you. $4,000 you could have made profit just for holding for 20 minutes. There's setups every day. There's potential every day. It's just you can't rush into it. Oh, Levi, that's fire, dude. Yeah, you just have to catch it. Like yesterday, like these contracts yesterday, I can't even describe this. Yesterday, the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm going to show you guys something. So when you understand more and more about trading, you're going to be able to see more. So I have a channel, right? I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm not that guy, but I'm going to do this really quickly. I'm going to show you a screenshot of something that I typed yesterday before the market even opened. You can understand once you do this for a while. Right here. Boom. You ready for this? Yesterday I typed in, if bearish, watch for SPY to reject at that 400, 401, and then plummet, especially if we start the open at 401. That massive red candle from 2 days ago, which is this bad boy, on this daily chart shows a little bounce on the daily, but the little green candle from here is going to show you some selling pressure. It could engulf and the green candle push towards that 391-ish area. All right? So 401, bearish engulfing down to 301. Type that in at the night before, 11:39 p.m. at 3:08. So it wasn't even the next day yet. So I typed that in before, and what happened literally yesterday? Let's take a look. SPY. This bad boy went up to 401 at the top, 401 like 20-ish, bearish engulfed all the way down to 391. Now I had that trade set up, I had that plan, and if you were trading the SPX contracts, these things went from literally $80 a piece to $6,000 a piece. You bought $800 worth of those contracts. Obviously, you don't hold all day because it's SPX, same day expiring. I get it, but you could do SPY and make yourself a shit ton of money off that as well. But SPX took $800 to $60,000 from top to bottom. So there's opportunity every day, is what I'm saying, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. Boom. Did you major in finance to get that job? Yeah, I did. It ran to 6 from 0.7. Is that SPY? Oh, no, it was a $4,000 put. Damn. That's crazy. But there's like, you can't have FOMO though. Like that's gonna happen all the time. Also, we hit high of the day. Maybe I will buy back in on Meta for that breakout. Where you at, you little bastard? 5 minute. Been loving this stock. Kind of has a triple top here. I don't know if I like that. Triple top doesn't really sit well with me. 4 to 91. Damn. Wow. That one hurts. You should feel FOMO. Should feel like shit after that one. I'm kidding, dude. You're good. It happens all the time, man. You're gonna get moves like that regardless. Like, yeah, you could sit there and be like, oh, I could have made $9,000 yesterday for holding it, but you can't think like that. It hurts. That hurts. I mean, there was a time. You want to hear what hurts? You want to hear what hurts? I risked $2,000 one time for Melly. Melly is my favorite stock ever, like ever. That stock made me more money than I know what to do with, honestly. Melly, I caught this really early 2020. It's a $1,200 stock. I mean, we could talk about this for years, how this could be my story, but it was at 422. I caught this whole fucking run up to 2,000. Just kept buying call options. Like, I would buy call options for like a month out, every red candle, and just hold it, and then I would make like 400% on it, and I would just keep compounding those gains, and I really just kept rolling forward options all the time, all the way up to its top. Ended up getting burned a little bit on my shares down here, but I ended up selling for like 1,400, and that's the rest is history. But Melly, this thing, holy shit! I remember this like crazy. This was a couple days ago, or not a couple days ago, a couple months ago. It was this trade right here. Where was she? Yeah, this one. Damn, this was so good. I remember seeing this. It was an Amazon play. Amazon crushed earnings. Melly is an e-commerce company out of Latin America. And I saw this opportunity because I haven't seen an opportunity in Melly in a really long time. I remember seeing it at the bottom of this Bollinger Band on the daily chart, trading around $800. And I wanted $1,000 calls for next week because their earnings were next week. And I played 2 weeks out. And the contracts were $245 a piece for the $1,000 because they were just chopping for so long, so the premium started to decay. I ended up taking this $1,000 premium for $245, and I sold for a lot of money. I made a good amount of money. I bought 10 of them at $2,000. I think I cashed out like $16K. So I made a good amount of money at that. But holy shit, this was ridiculous. So I ended up buying it, selling it before the earnings. So I was like $16,000 off 2K. That's amazing. So they ended up crushing earnings, and they ran it up to 1,100. Those $200 contracts were worth $10,000 a piece at the time. So that $2,000 I initially invested was worth over $100,000 in like 5 days, and I missed out on that. I made $16K, but I could have made an extra like $90,000 just for holding for one extra day. But so talk about FOMO. But you can't, like I said, you can't really think about that, even though I think about it every day. Shit hurts my heart. I think about it all the time. I'm still thinking about it right now. I think I want to take these calls. 184. Should we do it? Let's get one more scalp in here. Let's get one more little baby scalp. I'm going to look at Meta, 182.50 calls. They're worth 136. They're in the money right now, so it wouldn't be a lot of theta decay. What are the main stocks you scalp? SPY, SPX, Tesla. But as of late, it's been NVIDIA and Meta have made their way into the basket. No premium decay. There's so much premium decay. That might be the most premium decay ever, is SPX. It's honestly like highway robbery what this thing can do to you if you're on the wrong side. Like, this shit will beat the shit out of you and then spit on your sister. The theta on this thing is ridiculous. So you got to know what you're doing to play SPX. I do not recommend it if you're not good at getting in and out at the right entry points. 147, 140, 137. I feel like the market has some room to go. I don't like... SPX is brutal, but you can make a shit ton of money off that. Like I said, SPX yesterday could have taken $800,000 to $60,000. But that's not always. If I trade SPX, I like it to be when the contracts are worth about $200 to $400 a piece, about $50 away from the money, because that's still a pretty easy move, $50 in the SPX. But I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do know that this is probably going to retest this high and probably go a little higher. I'm just a little nervous on the SPX, or not SPX, this triple top. So we got rejected here, we got rejected here, and we got rejected here. Why did you leave your job? I'm an entrepreneur, man. I own a bunch of companies. Well, not a bunch, but I trade my own money. I have a trading channel. I just created a high ticket product of a course. So I now have a course that I'm about to launch on March 24th. Just hired a sales team to help me promote it. But it's a course unlike anything out there. I invested so much money into other people's courses and be like, why are people so successful? And then I buy a bunch of them and I'm like, this is shit. So I spent 5 months, literally night and day, creating the best course that I could possibly think of, from step A to step Z, to like history on the stock market. What is a stock? What are candlesticks? What are setups? What are options, trading option strategies? Every single option strategy, I have a live video of me executing them, so you can see the max reward, max risk, how you can generate income when it's going sideways. So many crap courses out there, but I want to I'm from a real small town and I had no industry around me unless I wanted to be a lumberjack or fight in the oil field. And look at me, I can't do that shit. Um, the website? What's the website? I don't have it launched yet, but I will have it launched. But you can follow me on Instagram or my own website at Next Era Trading, NXT_era_trading is the IG. I'll put it in here so you can keep track. I kind of fell off posting a lot of content recently, but I just hired an editor and I'm back, baby. I am back. Oh shit. But and then I also own a marketing agency that I spend a lot of time on. But the reason I left was because I just have an entrepreneur spirit. I tried to basically help the company out and grow because they were shitty on the marketing front. They had terrible brand awareness. They kept losing IPOs. Like, we got Square as an IPO, we got Alibaba as an IPO, we got Snapchat as an IPO, and then all of a sudden we just started falling off and losing every IPO to Citadel because they're a brand dominant company and everybody knows who Citadel is. So nobody knows who GTS is, even though GTS is the second largest brand on the New York Stock Exchange, and nobody knows that, right? So I was trying to create like this whole entrepreneurial role where I was like, I could be a marketing manager, I could also trade, I could do all these things. I wanted to create my own role, but they're like, who the hell is this 23-year-old kid trying to say that we need to help our company out, when in reality, if they listen to me, they would be doing much better. But once they basically said they don't want to invest in marketing, I was like, all right, I'm going to take my ideas and what I want to myself. So I created my own marketing agency, and it's one of the fastest growing agencies in the world. It's only a year and a half old, and the amount of clients that we have signed and the type of clients we signed, you'd think that we were around for 15 years by now. But back to trading. This could go back up to that 184 level I'm looking for. I hate that triple top, but this is bullish engulfing. Don't like this. And I'm getting hungry. What time is it? 11:20? We've only been here for an hour and 50 minutes. Jesus Christ. I feel like it's way more than that. Let's go. Could have made a nice $400. What am I up today? $400? My goal is $500. I need $50 more. My goal is $500 on Fridays, always. Just need like quick little $500 just to have fun today. Honestly, guys, this live stream is helping me out be more consistent. Usually I'd be just chucking trades in, but I feel like there's a little bit more added pressure. Might do this more often. Loving this shit right now. Is there any questions? Anybody have any questions? I feel like I'm just talking to myself out here. Thanks, brother. The YouTube questions coming in hot. Discord questions? Trading floor? I cannot believe that Civ B situation. Is that open yet? 206? No, it just broke out. Guys, we're missing out. Damn. Triple top, no more. We're up to 184. 21. Thing's going, guys. It's going. Let me look at this weekly chart. Got to get rid of this. I'm just going to clear the drawing set and redraw it with you. Have fun. Boom. Retest. There she isn't. She's bouncing. Guys, this is a perfect setup. I'm going to throw so much money on this next week. As soon as I see this little drip down next week and I start to see any sort of rip, these 190 calls, I am all in. I've been waiting for this setup for 2 weeks now. Actually, 4 weeks. I've been watching this thing for so long since like right here. I was like, this could end up being one of the best trades out there. I'm going for $50,000. Fuck it. Let's go $100,000 we're going for on this trade. This could be an easy 300, 400 percenter. Throw 25K in there. That could be so much money. Let me see. 5 minute. Daily chart. I think that the daily chart is the only thing going to make me go a little bit less heavy. This shit kind of looks ass. 180 bounce at this level. I mean, this 190 I think is going to get hit, but this just doesn't look good to me. I hate this Bollinger Band. I do kind of like that it's expanding a little bit, but the volume in this shit is just bad. Oh no. I'll have to reassess next week, but that's my biggest setup. That's my biggest play. I think I'm just like super pumped up about that. I don't really know what happened to Civ B, but she is still not open. I'd be pissed if I had puts on this and they didn't open this up. 283 to 106 yesterday. People are just getting out, and now it's at 39 pre-market. Nobody wants a part of this. Ridiculous. Whole market is green as shit. I think that the SPY has a lot of opportunity to head down to. Did I not say this was going to 394 today? This is going to 394 today. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say 393.50. I'll go 5 minutes. It's headed right there. That's easy money. And that's the high of the day pre-market. Look at how easy this shit works out. It's like I've been doing this for a while. Yeah, Meta is my stock. How do you know when to exit your trade, whether it's for a loss or a gain? How do you know when to exit your trade, whether it's a loss or a gain? How do I know when to exit, whether it's a loss or a gain? That's kind of a tough question, but 10% rule every time. I just posted a video on this. I always go in knowing what I want to lose, and I try to play with house money. So if I go into another trade, I have $200 cushion because I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna lock in $250 on the day. If I go in on a $1,000 trade, my stop loss is $20 down or $200 down because that's my stop loss. So I kind of look at it and I'm playing with the house chips kind of thing, locking in my profits and running. But if I enter a trade, it needs to be a perfect entry point for me. And then if it goes against me, I keep the stop losses very small. Exit points are just basically off breakouts. So for Meta, for example, where is she? There she isn't. I almost entered right here. If it broke down below, I think it was right here was my support line. So based off of support and resistance lines, here's my support line because it bounced off this a couple times. So it was right at that level. I almost bought this for the reversal. I probably should have. They were worth 140 at the time. I could have ended up making $600 there, but I didn't. But if it broke down below that, I probably would have put a stop loss right below this level. And at 140, I probably would have put a stop around 130. So $100 loss at that point. So keep the stops very small, and then if it rips and runs, then I'll just move my stop loss up to lock in gains. So at that point, I can either continue to catch those runs or not. This is going to 393. Do I catch a little scalp on the SPY? Do we? I think it's too late. I think I might just have to cash in my 450 on the day, guys. Walk away. I think Fridays are ass. I think Fridays are not good enough for me to make a good amount of money. $1,000 would have been cooler, but I'll take 500. Take $500 and go into the weekend happily. Another tip for you guys: if you're making good money at trading, if you're making a couple $100 here and there, adds up to about $1,000 or $2,000. Say you have a $5,000 account. Say you get up to $7,500 or $10,000. Pay yourself. Exit that money, put it in your bank account so you don't risk more and you lose more. I feel like you'll see a lot better success rate that way when you start to utilize it as a business, and this profit that you're making ends up going into your account. Set aside some for taxes. Don't forget about taxes, but start paying yourself. You make these gains, you're making these gains for a reason. If you're short-term trading, funnel it into your bank account. And if you're not funneling it into your bank account and say you're good off of different job or different income levels, then take that cash, that profit from trading short-term, funnel it into a long-term investment. Whether it's your Roth IRA, you could fund it for free, or your long-term investment portfolio, or a real estate property you're saving up for. Take that cash and utilize it somewhere else. Don't just sit. I used to sit on a ton of money in my trading account, and now I don't do that. There's no point in doing that. I would show you how I think there's only $20,000 in this account right now. So you don't need a lot of money to make a lot of money, and you don't need to have all that money sitting in a trading account because it's just kind of worthless sitting there unless it's working for you. So buy some dividend stocks, buy some long-term ETFs, buy some assets. Just keep buying assets, but make sure that when you're making profits, you're not just sitting them in an account doing nothing, because it's the same thing as a bank account. Put something else in there. Put that money to work, or pay yourself and go on a date. Go on a date. Maybe take a trip. Take a trip to Bali. I'm going to Colombia in a couple months, and I'm pumped. So I got to make more than $500 in a day. Selling options, Levi, this is going to change your life. That's what I'm trying to get people to sell options, but nobody is attracted to it. Nobody. I don't get it. It's literally Bollinger Bands, I use 5 minute, but you can use anything you want. Bollinger Bands, they stay within this frame. So notice how it's not breaking out of these. There's a reason for that. So it broke out of this, comes right back in. So I use them for reversal trading. So mostly calls, honestly, because the downside's been pretty tough to play recently. So it's down at this Bollinger Band, it starts to level off, and it starts to come in. I was in calls earlier. I only took a small profit, but I play the bottom Bollinger Band for reversals. This is going to hit that level, guys. 393.40. I don't think I'm going to take any more trades. I think I'm going to basically cash it in. I'm hungry. I'm about to piss my pants, and I kind of hit my target today, and it's Friday. You saw this get pretty ugly for a second, but we stayed calm and we took over. When all the headwinds were coming at us, we were down like 150, ended up turning it around, and now we're chilling. You can use the Bollinger Bands on the 1 minute. Put on a course on selling options. The craziest part is that course that I just created has the selling options. So there is everything you need to know in that. And I cannot wait for that to release, because that is going to be the most valuable course in the world. And every time that I trade every day, the best part about it is I have 159 slides with graphics of chart patterns, videos of me explaining the whole presentation. When are you going live next? I'll be live on Monday, guys. I'm having too much fun with this. So that course has selling options, buying options, covered call strategies, cash secured put strategies, everything. As soon as it is out, I will let you guys know if you want to take advantage of it or not. No pressure. I never upsell anything. I never sell anything on any of my social medias, not even my own channels. I don't ever do any of that. I have a sales team for all of that. They can handle that. But the amount of value that I put into that, I spent 5 months building out this thing perfectly. So, yeah. Selling options course is coming very soon, March 26th. 2 weeks. Damn, I got to do more work for that. But every day, the best part about the course is it's a live channel. It's a live account. So once you're in that account, I will update live trades on me every single time, so you can execute, or you can see what I'm doing. So there will be continuous videos in perpetuity. Most amount of value I've ever seen. That is for damn sure. And I'm not even trying to be biased. I think the market's slowing. I think it's chop hour. It's 11:30. By selling options, you mean buying 100 shares and selling the options. Or you could do the opposite and sell puts. Go for it, baby. Let's go for it. Tesla, I'll give you one little crash course real quick. Tesla, boom. Say you have Tesla. I know it's a lot of money. Obviously, it's a lot of money. $17,000 is a lot. So you have $18,000 in your account right now, and you don't want to buy Tesla shares just yet because you think that there might be a bounce, but you think it's going to go lower and you want to buy it like 1,500 like me. So for example, Tesla, where you at, baby? There you are. Come here, sweetheart. So we go here on the daily chart. I think this thing has so much more room down. I have drawings all over it. But if I look at the weekly chart, nice bounce here. Nice consolidation. I think that I want to buy shares at this level. And I'm going to put this in green because I want to buy right there. And I also am going to set an alert around 154. Create an alert at or below Tesla. So let's walk through this with me real quick. I think Tesla, I'm going to buy a boatload more shares around this 150-ish range. But I think that when it's coming down closer and closer, it's not going to be a straight down arrow. I think there might be a couple green days around 180, 189. So instead of me buying the shares at 177, I could save myself $3,000 and being down in the position, but I can sell options to make money in the short term. So let's say I have the money to buy it, but I don't want to buy it just yet because this is my long-term portfolio. I know it's a lot of money, but you can do this for any stock, whether it's SE, you would only need 7,000, Square 7,000. You could do Coinbase, you could do SI, and you only need 200. So you can do this for anything. But the more expensive the contracts, or the more expensive the price, the more expensive the contracts, you collect it. So instead of paying for the premium, you collect it. You don't buy it, you don't buy the option and pay for it and watch it go up or down. Then you have to sell it because you own it. You sell it to somebody, and then you have theta decay on your side, and you have the opposite direction on your side. So you have basically two things that can pay you versus one thing, which is being right on the option buying side. So if I wanted to sell an option on Tesla, let's just say for next week, let's say I wanted to sell these options on Tesla, this would be sick. This is a great example. Don't want to buy them yet. Let's say that I wanted to sell these. Where was it at earlier? Was it $4? It was at 172 earlier. So let's just say I wanted to sell these 175 puts. I sell these 175 puts. Let's put them in the chart. Look how much money I would have made just today just by sitting on these things. They were at $1,000 earlier. I could have sold these for $1,000 and they deteriorated to 500. I would have been already up $530 just for selling these, and they're going to continually decay as it gets closer to expiration. So if you think of options like an ice cube, you literally bring it out and you set it on the counter. It's going to be strong at first, but as it gets closer to its core, it's going to start melting a lot faster. Same thing with options here. As soon as you create that contract or you write it or you sell it, as it gets closer to its expiration date, it's going to shred a lot faster. So when you sell options, theta is your friend. So you can actually sell these contracts and collect this premium over time. So I don't even need to own the shares because I'm selling puts. I want it to go up. It's a cash secured put. So say I sold this 175 put, these contracts start to decay over time. So as of right now, just today, I could have collected $600 in premium and I didn't own a damn thing. Now, if it went against me, you can short a put contract. You're not really short. Yeah, you can sell it. So you're giving it to somebody else. So when you purchase a put contract, somebody else is selling it to you. So you're buying it from somebody else. Remember that options trading, stocks are all an exchange of hands. You do not need a margin account to sell options. You can do it in a cash account. You need a margin account if you sell naked options, I believe. Check on that one, though. But you can use a cash account for selling covered calls and cash secured puts. But the best part about selling this put here is I don't need to own the shares. I just need to have the cash in the account because if it expires below 175, let's say next week it's trading around 172, realistically, if it's trading around 172, these aren't going to be worth $1,000 anyway because they're that close to the money and it's about to expire that same day. So realistically, these are going to be, let's look at them right now. If it's at 172 for same day expirations, let's look at how much those are worth. Probably dog shit. So these puts that are $2 away from the money are literally only $56. So $1,000 to 56. Like, come on, that's crazy. So you take advantage of the theta decay, and the best part about Tesla is there's high ass theta. So every day that you swing this, you're going to be making an extra $50, $60, and the implied volatility percentage is so damn high that the contracts are going to shred. Selling options are how people get rich. It's how the rich stay rich because they have all their money, they have long-term portfolios, and they either sell cash secured puts or covered calls against their position. So even when they're going down, they never have to sell to take advantage of those taxes, but they create an income for themselves. I'm not understanding how you would enter this. You sell it instead of buy it. Ready? Instead of buying it like everybody else does in the world, you just go down and you hit sell. That's it. You sell it and you instead of buying it. That's it. So you can just sell. You can just go to Meta, sell an option if you don't even have any shares. Yes, you can sell puts, but you want it to go up, right? So you're selling it, so you want it to do opposite. So buying a put, you want it to go down. Selling a put, you want it to go up or sideways. Essentially, you're shorting a put, yeah, I guess. So in Tesla, for example, I would have made $530 here just for selling a put earlier because Tesla has gone up today. So, but if Tesla goes sideways, right? So at the low of the day today, Tesla was at 168. Say I sold a put here because it was outside of its Bollinger Band and I thought it was kind of overextended. I could have sold a put, watched it drop literally in 2 seconds from 1,000 to 600, made that $300 and bought it back, and I would have been fine. Or I could just let this expire and go to zero by holding it till next week. But a lot of people do buy them back. I buy them back. Right now, I'd probably buy this back because I'd be up $600. How do you close out the position to get the premium? You actually collect the premium right away. So when you sell it, you made a transaction. So if I sold you this phone and you gave me $500 for it, I keep it, right? So now I have $500. Same thing with an option. You sell the option, it goes credited right to your account, but it's just in your account for now. So you basically have like this IOU situation where if you buy it back, then it splits the difference. So say we sold this for $1,000. Right now, I'd have $1,000 extra in my account. But if I bought back the premium, then I would give back $480 of that, but keep the $600 that I just made, or the $520, whatever it is. So your account would go up $520, and if you have a cash account, then it would settle $520 tomorrow. Extra. Hopefully that makes sense. Should make sense. If it doesn't, then I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But here's another question. How do you close out the position? You close out the position by buying it back. So if you sell it, all you got to do is create closing order, buy it instead of sell it. Same situation, just the opposite. Boom. Boom. Valuable lesson, everybody. It's 11:44 in the morning, and you learn more than you did in 20 years of school. That is my motive. That is my mission, is to educate as many people as possible. Yeah, it takes a while to understand selling contracts, but it's sinking in much more as it gets explained in a few times. Levi, it's going to change your life. It's not massive gains all the time, but you can make a great amount of income for yourself. Same thing with Tesla here. If we did the same thing for Meta on a smaller scale, I'll do one last little lesson here because I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm getting tired. But 180. I'm going to host a class on selling options, just so you know. So follow my Instagram. You'll see some updates. I got a lot of shit coming out. But here you go. Next week's Meta. Let's say you had 100 and these are expensive. Let's do something cheaper. Let's do something that's not $17,000 to do it. Let's do Datadog. Datadog's ass. Coinbase? Coinbase is getting slaughtered out. Coinbase would be good. Coinbase, you need $5,000 to do this. Today, Coinbase hit, what, 51? So you need $5,100 in this stock. Now let's talk about selling an option. Now you would sell the calls. You think it's going to go up, so you don't need to buy anything yet. You just need to have $5,000 in your account. So let's say you sold $52 calls here, or $52 puts. The right side is puts, so you want it to go up. Let's go back to it, send it to red. So when it was at 51, you sold the $52 puts for next week. They were $390 at the time. Say you sold them around $380. Now they're worth under $200. You could have collected $180 in premium and bought this back if you wanted to. So when you think it's about to reverse and go up, you collect it on the opposite side, but you also have theta on your side. So you get the theta decay and you get the upside. Now you could buy a call, obviously, but if you just want to collect that premium instead, it's a lot safer, a lot better strategy. And if you want to invest in Coinbase around that level, the worst case scenario is you keep that premium, but you execute the shares at 52 and you just wait. And then at that point, you can sell cover calls. So repeated cycle, repeated process. That's why the rich stay rich. That's one of the reasons, because they just sell positions against their shares that they have billions of dollars worth of. So they can sell 1,000 of them at a time and just collect premium like crazy. You need the shares if you sell covered calls. You don't need shares if you sell puts. Sell calls, you need the shares as collateral. If you sell puts, you don't need the shares, you just need the cash in the account. But I think I'm done trading, guys. I think I'm done explaining. I'm tired. I'm hungry. It's been a long week. I'm back in New York now, so I got to get a little setup going here before I go back to my place in Florida next month. Sell a put that expires next month, then you basically guarantee win of decay unless it goes down a lot. Exactly. So in bull markets, it is easy money. I mean, I could sell Tesla right now if I think Tesla's going to go up over time. The thing is with that is, like, if I believe in the company at that point, I might as well just buy the shares. But I could sell Tesla a couple months out, just say April 21st, because it's obviously going to go up from there, I think. But you could sell puts in Tesla a couple months out, and these things are like $1,400, so you could collect. You know, if I think it's going to go up, I could even go in the money. It's a little bit more risky, but I could sell these 190 puts thinking it's going to be above 190 in 2 months and collect $2,000. But at that point, might as well just buy the shares because that's more than $2,000. But you see what I mean. It's more so like closer expirations in my opinion, but to each their own. To each their own. Charts, monitor tab, I'm up 450. SPY's getting tanked. Meta getting rejected. Still think that this is a great play for next week. I don't think I'm going to mess with it right now. Getting some levels sold off. We basically hit that resistance line. That could have been a nice reversal play for me, but I didn't take it. But that's what we got going on. I'm going to look at the 15-minute real quick to see if there's any opportunity. Ooh, a little cup and handle action, if you know what that is. Cup and handle action right there. I don't think I'm going to play it, but SPY looks pretty good. I'm at my target level, and I'm going to go eat some food. So hopefully that was a good stream for you guys. Hopefully there was a lot of value provided. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. What about PDT rule and 25K? Todd, if you're still here, listen up real close. You do not need $25,000 to trade. There's something called a cash account. If you call your brokerage and you say, I need a cash account, you don't need $25,000 to be PDT rule. You can trade as much as you want. So if you have a cash account under 25K and say you have $10,000 in your account, you take a $2,000 trade, you now have $8,000 left over to play for that day. So you can use up to the amount of cash that you have in your account until it goes to zero, and then it settles the next day. A lot of people say T+2, so it settles in 2 days, but if you have Thinkorswim, it settles overnight. So if you call, say I want a cash account instead of a margin account, PDT rule no longer applies under 25K. So, boom, I'm out. I love you guys. We'll talk soon.